In the following slides, we'll summarize the contents of Chapter 7. Our first sentence begins with Lama Marpa, and there's the verb to say at the end in the honorific, and there's a verb followed by ne here. So Lama Marpa, tuk shi is to be pacified or to calm down, so his heart or his mind is peaceful. So Lama Marpa, his having calmed down, he said, and here's what he said. Here's the verb with the imperative marker. He said, "Call the great magician." Next, we have some new information in the middle of the sentence, of the previous sentence here. So we still have Lama Marpa having calmed down, he said, but what he says has been expanded. He said, "Today," and here's a yin bei, so here's a good place to break this longer phrase. So the great magician is the Tsowo, the chief, or the chief one among guests. Drun is guests, and then to link those with the the sixth case, we would say in English maybe the main guest or the chief guest is the great magician. And therefore, Dakmema, this is the name of Lama Marpa's wife, go and call the great magician. Now we'll add a little bit of additional information to what Marpa says. Still we have the verb at the end to say, so the end of the quotation has been extended. And where does the new part begin? Here's go and call the great magician. And then that's the end of this sentence. And then Lama Marpa continues to say, I. And let's read ahead. Here's a place to break this longer phrase, and it's the adjective that. So we know that we can read to the left of that to see what nouns are being modified by that. So that, which I have done, that which I have done like that, to the great magician. So that which I have done to the great magician, like that, it's hard to put that in good English, but that which I have done to the great magician. And let's see where we want to go next to break. Here's an important expression, madok. Madok means not only that, but also something else. And so it's a good place to break a phrase. And so what comes before that is that was done. So that which I did to the great magician was done as a technique, tapsu, as a technique of purifying korangi, his sins and defilements, his misdeeds and defilements. And not only that, but also my wish, rangi dupa, my own wish was not for the sake of. Chedu can mean like for the sake of or for the purpose of, or in this case it comes out better in English as saying something like specifically the tower work, the work of the tower, kargilega or karle. So not only did I do what I did to the great magician in order to purify as a technique of purifying his misdeeds, but also, or we might say in English, and anyway, it wasn't my own wish to build the towers. So he's saying, I didn't want to build the tower in the first place. It was done as a technique to purify Milarepa's defilements. Now there's just a little bit added to the end here. Still, we are within the quote, what Lama Marpa is saying. So he continues to say, then and therefore I accept you as a disciple, and I will give you the oral instructions. And so, having said everything that we just read about, he gave the initiations and the oral instructions in the plural. And finally, just a bit more at the end. So masse is another type of expression like madok, this one up here, that means not only or in addition. So not only did he give me the initiations and oral instructions, but he also gave me a prophecy, and you'll read about this in the story. You'll read more about what that means. He also prophesied, and he gave me much relief or much confidence. This kyang should be right here. So uk, if you look up in the dictionary ukyung, you'll find that expression as to give someone relief or give confidence. And ze is the honorific to do. This is what the Lama Marpa did. And kyang would be better situated right here, so this is what he also did, in addition to prophesizing and giving the initiations and oral instructions. Here you see the kyang is in the right place.